All right, child-free ladies, I got something good for us. Listen up. This is a very good video that I come across, and it explains our revolt against pregnancy and childbirth. It's a very good video. I'm going to play it through, and then I'll go back and dissect it. Okay, here we go.
In psychology, women who fear pregnancy demonstrate advanced emotional intelligence. Their terror isn't irrational, but the psyche's profound recognition of life's most irreversible transformation. This is tokophobia, not some simple anxiety, but the body's revolt against the ultimate biological trap. These women don't just worry about pregnancy, they viscerally experience the death of their current self when imagining motherhood. Their nightmares aren't of labor pains, but of disappearing into someone's mom. From a psychological perspective, this happens because these women possess three crucial skills. Cognitive empathy that forces them to consider the child's experience, not just their own desires. Future self-projection that reveals how parenting alters ambitions, and integrated thinking that weighs biological urges against modern realities. Their so-called fear is actually the most rational response to society's biggest double standard. We glorify motherhood while ignoring its sacrifices. To every woman wrestling with this fear, you're not less than those who leapt blindly into motherhood. You're more aware. Real maturity isn't following a script, but daring to ask, is this right for me? Because the most responsible choice is sometimes the one society judges hardest. So if you've ever been shamed for your caution, remember, the women who change the world are the ones who think before they create it.
Now, every word of that resonated with me on every level, every fiber of my being, because everything that he mentioned in this clip is what I have literally been saying about myself and just other child-free women for years. Now, I'm going to go through and I'm going to quickly dissect every part that stood out to me.
In psychology, women who fear pregnancy demonstrate advanced emotional intelligence. Their terror isn't irrational, but the psyche's profound recognition of life's most irreversible transformation.
So I've always felt, and I've always said, that motherhood is a trap. It is an irreversible decision, which is why it should not be made so lightly. You can't take a baby back like you can take a pair of shoes back to Nordstrom's. It doesn't work. Once you make that choice, you're stuck in it. And it doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter if you have a village or not. It doesn't matter if you are financially sound or not. None of that matters. You can't take that choice back. There was always something so revolting about the idea of a man getting me pregnant. Like me having a baby by a man, the thought of that has always given me the ick. And I never understood why I felt so strongly against it when I was a little bit younger. I just knew I did. And I had a responsibility to myself to literally be true to who I am and not jump into anything because everybody else was doing it, especially because I was seeing everybody else's life turn out to be miserable. So my thing is, I'm not delusional, and I don't think that somehow my outcome is going to be different from any other woman's. It won't be. I'm going to make the same decision that all the other women are making. I'm most likely going to get the same results. It's an irreversible trap. And it was always one that I refused to get in. I'm so glad he pointed that out.
This is tokophobia, not some simple anxiety, but the body's revolt against the ultimate biological trap. These women don't just worry about pregnancy, they viscerally experience the death of their current self when imagining motherhood.
Now, I have explained this part to many people over the years as well. So, whenever I have gotten asked about motherhood, why I don't want kids, so on and so forth, just me starting to talk about all the ways that my life would be turned upside down if I had kids, I would start what felt like breaking out in hives. Like, my anxiety level shot up to like through the roof just at the thought of all the ways that my life would be turned upside down. I think about all of the possibilities of me losing my job because I have to call off because the kid is sick, or the kid is acting up in school, or, daycare didn't open today. And it's like, what am I going to do? I don't have any village, things like that. Like all the ways in which I have to spend all my money on stuff that I can't, like things that I would have to do for the baby, but I can't live my own life. About the fact that I can't just get up and go when I want to. I have a very visceral reaction to that. Like I literally break out in hives just thinking about it. I'm not even joking. The death of self, that is literally one of my greatest fears when it comes to being a mother. The fact that you have to give up everything, and it's just not worth it to me.
Their nightmares aren't of labor pains, but of disappearing into someone's mom. From a psychological perspective, this happens because these women possess 3 crucial skills. Cognitive empathy that forces them to consider the child's experience, not just their own desires. Future self-projection that reveals how parenting alters ambitions, and integrated thinking that weighs biological urges against modern realities.
So let's break this down for a second. When I look at cognitive empathy, I always think about the kind of world that I would be bringing my kids into. All the things that they're going to have to suffer. All of the isms, socialism, capitalism, classism, racism, right? All of the things that I know are automatically going to be roadblocks just because they were born. And how they're going to navigate that. There are a lot of people who delete themselves off the planet because they cannot handle the ways in which life throws itself at them. And they cannot handle the pressures in society. They can't handle the discrimination. They can't handle the racism. Many people take themselves out. And you can never guarantee that it won't be your kid that will, end up feeling resentful. And not, feeling like there's any point in living and all that stuff. And I'm just using that one example. I can't guarantee happiness for my kid. As a matter of fact, I can almost guarantee their suffering by bringing them here. So I'm thinking about that cognitive empathy, right? I'm able to put myself in the shoes of my unborn child, and also having the experience ahead of time. I already know what they're up against. I already know what type of a shitty world I'm bringing them into. Future self-projection, like, where's my life going to turn out? How is this going to affect my life negatively? And I can count the ways from here into oblivion. For the next 3 years, I can list reasons and ways in which my life will be turned upside down. And when I think of integrated thinking, I'm thinking about everything as a whole, how that affects me, how that's going to affect the child. There is no way in good consciousness that I would ever be able to bring kids here. There is not a good enough reason. I don't care about the populating the earth thing. I don't care about any of that. The reasons are not good enough. I'm absolutely not doing it.
Their so-called fear is actually the most rational response to society's biggest double standard. We glorify motherhood while ignoring its sacrifices. To every woman wrestling with this fear, you're not less than those who leapt blindly into motherhood. You're more aware. Real maturity isn't following a script, but daring to ask, is this right for me? Because the most responsible choice is sometimes the one society judges hardest. So if you've ever been shamed for your caution, remember, the women who change the world are the ones who think before they create it.
Yeah, that last statement was a whole bar. The women who change the world are the ones who think before they create it. This is no shade either to any of the parents the women out there who are listening to this, who, jumped into motherhood without really thinking about it. It's no shade to you. You didn't know any better. Or maybe you did. Maybe you knew exactly what you were doing. But at the end of the day, I'm mostly talking to the ones who get on here on a regular basis and say that if they could do it all over again, they would not have had kids. It's because you didn't know any better. You jumped into it without thinking about all of these things. I think mothers think about this stuff after the fact, after it's already too late. And whenever I hear women, mothers in particular, say stuff like, you are child free, you don't have any right to speak on this because you don't know what it's like to be a mom, I always push back. And I'm always saying, look, there's a lot of aspects about motherhood that I will never understand. And I'm being honest, I don't fucking want to. That's literally the reason why I chose not to have kids. That's the part people don't get. And I was having this conversation with my man the other day. Actually, I want to say it was Saturday. We were just having this conversation, and he feels the exact same way. He's like, no. He told a few of his friends, no, I actually do get it. That's why I chose not to have them. I don't want to deal with it. You guys are miserable. Why would I want to trade places with? I already see the outcome. I don't want to be in your boat. And that's what he has told his friends as a man. As a woman, I'm saying the exact same thing. And I'll tell anybody that to their eyeballs. I'll look you dead in your eyeballs and say, I do know. That's why I chose not to do it. I've thought this through. I've had decades to think about this. So if you're new to this channel, this is a child-free space. It is a woman-centered / child-free space. A lot of us here don't want kids. There's a lot of women here who have kids and they support us. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that if you're new here. But yeah, this is not to be taken lightly. And we're going to keep talking about this on this channel. My goal, and the goal of many other child-free women who do content in particular, our goal is to make being child-free the norm. Now, it's already starting. They're doing everything they can to shut us down and try to take away birth control and, trying to overturn Roe versus Wade. They're really trying to force women to have babies because they know that without us giving birth, the world population declines and is going to keep declining. They want us to give a shit. I say all the time, I would say it on national television if I was given the opportunity, I don't give a shit. I don't care about the population decline. I'm happy about it. Every day that I wake up and I'm on social media and I see a video from Bourbon Bougie talking about the birth rates plummeting to hell, I click so fast. I get excited at the thought of that. And I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it as long as I'm on social media. Anybody with less than 100 years to live, which is 99.99999% of all of us, should not be worried about the human race going extinct. When Mother Earth decides she wants to get rid of all of us, she can do it in one flood. One big hurricane and wipe us all out if she wants to. So you ain't got no control over that, whether you care about human decline or not. It doesn't make you a better person because you care, and it doesn't make you a bad person if you don't care. You have no control over what happens anyways. If you want to turn yourself into a baby factory, you do that and let the rest of us do us. I'm going to say that for as long as I'm on social media, for as long as I have a platform. This is going to be the norm. In the future, it's going to be, oh, child-free women are just women. They're just normal women who just chose not to have kids. That's the norm. No discrimination, no hard, nasty rhetoric about our lifestyles and how miserable we are and we're all dying alone with cats and all this other crap. No. Some people have kids, some people don't. That will be the normal conversation. And the population decline is proving that we're actually getting closer to that than I could have ever thought we ever would in my lifetime. We're getting very close to it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Your tokophobia or fear of pregnancy and childbirth is not irrational. It's rational as fuck because your brain works and you use critical thinking. You are not alone and you're very intelligent. Why? You actually took the time to think about what bringing kids into the world would do to your life and theirs. And you decided against it. That makes you very aware and very intelligent. That's all for this video. I thought that was a great video that man put out, or whoever put that video out. Leave your comments below. Hit subscribe, like, share. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. He'll go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red and he won't care if you're dead.